Hello, hello, hello. Look at old skinny me getting up in here with my form fitting body. Got that hourglass. What's up? How's everybody doing? Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night to one and all. It is me and Maddie today. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good, thank
Hi.
you.
I got a good one for you. We're just gonna jump balls deep into this. Thank you, monkey.
Nice.
So usually I would not have Matthew join me. But I knew that I needed somebody to counter this. And I know automatically, off the rip, he is going to argue this until I prove a point. So this should be fun. Maybe he'll stick with his guns. I don't know. A simple question, Matthew. How do you feel about censorship? Just censorship.
In what way?
No. Nope.
Censorship?
Just censorship. Well, define censorship to me.
Well, it's where a small amount of people decide that something shouldn't be seen by the rest of the people, whether or not it's without giving you the choice if you want to see it or not.
Watch how deep this gets. So, do you practice in censorship?
Ooh. That's ah. Oh.
Yeah,
You want yes
think
or
long
no,
and
right?
hard about this answer. Think long and hard about this answer.
Being honest, I at some level, at some point,
You
not
support censorship.
yeah, some way you
If
do.
you don't like transgenders, you support censorship.
Oh yeah,
No matter what it is, I would define censorship as something simple, just like what you said. If you don't like something, you speak out and want to do something different about it than what everybody else is doing. So, whether that is censorship on a company level or censorship on a private level, it's still censorship. If
yeah.
you want things to change, then you contact those companies and ask them to change it. Because other than that, you want to censor them. So, everybody supports censorship. Everybody. Even the people that says no more censorship, that in itself is in fact censorship.
Yeah.
Do
There
you
is
get it?
nuances though. Yeah, yeah,
Well, sure, but either way, you're saying I don't want censorship. YouTube is saying we do. Twitch is saying we do. We don't want this on our platform. We don't want that. Yeah, they're censoring you, but then you saying you don't want it, you're practicing censorship.
censorship.
You're telling them that they can't say something or do something that they want to do. The fuck is the difference?
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
The,
Yeah. By doing by you are actually doing that
yes,
because
you're
you're telling somebody you don't like what they're doing and you want
yes,
it to be different
that is
and you don't
censorship.
want it.
That is in its basic form. That is
Okay.
censorship, bro.
Yeah. So going against censorship is actually censorship. Hmm.
My mind is blown. Like, so
So you can't not censor?
I think that's why I try to tell you, like with the transgenders, we just accept it. Like, you just move on because there's nothing that me and you can do about it. Nothing. Whether we have to call someone he or she, yeah, we can elect to not do it, but guess what we're doing right there?
We kind of do see what's happening, right? We've talked about this. You get all this new crazy stuff, eco, transgender, and seasonal gender, and whatever, because the normal transgender is becoming exactly that normal. So if you want to keep being special, you have to brew up some other thing.
Unless, unless we just keep accepting everything that you are. If you don't accept it, you're taking part of one, cancel culture, right? Because it's a culture. Whether or not me and you may agree with it, It doesn't matter. In its basic forms, it is a cult classic, right? Let's just change what we are to make people like us, and we'll fit in a special bracket. But if we accept it, we're not taking part of cancel culture, which we all. I don't agree with cancel culture. I don't think if you don't agree with somebody, you should just say, I'm not going to do it. Now, you can elect to not do it, but then you're not going to be the one that complains about censorship. So in turn, if YouTube decides to censor me and says, you can't say this, what do? We abide by their rules. We kind of finagle it a little bit, but we abide by their rules. At the same time, we can complain about other things, but when other people tell us something, and major corporations primarily, I'll favor major corporation over an individual. Why? Because the major corporation is the people that are housing me. So I'm not going to be the first one to, bite the hand that feeds me. Sure, I'll do what you say, and I'm not going to complain about it. I think on a personal level, we may say that it is unacceptable to be fat. Okay, that's censorship. That's cancel culture. Those two things go hand in hand. You don't want something to be heard. You don't want something to happen, so we must remove them.
Ooh.
It's the same thing, bro.
Yeah. It's in some way or form we kind of all, even if it's as simple as not telling your kids something.
Censorship. Everybody has it.
Yeah. Damn it.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to give me a scenario, and I wouldn't tell you that that's not censorship. You know how, like, back in the day, people would talk shit to each other face to face and actually mean it, and not throw hands. Like, they'd be like, "Dude, you're a fat piece of shit. Yeah, you're ugly. Whatever."
Yeah.
There was no censorship. It was just say what you say, how you feel, and then that's it. And then as time progressed, we're more reluctant to tell somebody how we feel because it may hurt their feelings.
Which is cancel culture and also censorship.
Yes, which is both of those.
From their side to your side, because you're censoring me because I can say something that might make you feel a little uncomfortable. You're not gonna start bleeding from it, but I mean, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Oh, let's censor all those people, or even cancel them. Worst case scenario. So
I think if someone complains that they want you to call them a she or a they or a tree or a furry, that and you agree to that, they, however, cannot complain about something like YouTube not allowing them to upload something. However, I will say this, as someone that streams to all these platforms, that they do kind of cater to whatever you want to be.
And you're saying YouTube can't complain to YouTube because that's not a person, it's a private company, and so they have their own rules. You're on it. If you want to be on it, you're going to abide by the rules. But if it's a community, if it's general society, that doesn't go the same way. You have to abide by what a minority is.
Well, not even a minority. I think just anybody. I think I mean, obviously, then look, you can go real deep with this. I mean, how deep do you want to go? I'm just going to say it. Nazis.
Ooh.
Okay.
Skating.
Okay. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I word this where it doesn't sound that I am pro white people or pro Aryan nation. That just got me flagged.
That in itself shows how much censorship and how much canceling and how much there is. Because why wouldn't you be able to talk about that without already automatically
but who gets offended?
Negative connotation.
Okay, but who? Yes, that has been ingrained since whatever the 50s to be negative, right? I'm sure in the 40s and 50s. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know this part of World War II, but I know some of it. We didn't know about concentration camps until we were there, right? Like
Yeah.
we found them way late in the war. So it's not like we went to go rescue people. They were just there. Is it shitty? Absolutely it is. Especially, it's like rounding up all the gays and putting them in camps. Am I opposed? No. No, seriously. If you, look, based off of what something you cannot change, yes, I am opposed to that. 100%, right? If that is who you are or what you are, that is wrong. That is wrong. Okay, not deniable. However, that's not why we went into war. But the second you bring that up, you're going to rile up a lot of people. You're going to rile up Jews. You're going to rile up the private companies, YouTube, Twitch. They're all going to get riled up over this. The question is whether or not you not talking about it is censorship.
And a certain, it is. But I find it interesting that you said something you cannot change.
You cannot change. Now, when I'm talking about the people in the concentration camps, they were judged based off of merely, and I'm not talking about just Jews. They were based just merely off of you are not this. Okay, I can't change that. Like that's not even if I was to say to you, yes, I want to be part of your thing now, I can't.
So, but going off of that premise, here we go. Going off of that premise, LGBTQ, somebody wanting me to call them they, them, them, whatever, that's something they can change because they can also opt to not force me to make not to make me call them that.
Okay, you're getting technical. Okay, that if the argument is, because I don't want to turn this into a transgender debate, but if the argument is that a transgender or someone that is gay, well, you said LGBTQ, so fine, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and then Q is non-binary. So no, that's not non-binary. Non-binary is the IA plus. I don't know. But if someone is that way, that is who they are. We may disagree or agree on this. I'm not going to censor this. I'm just going to say that is who they are on the inside.
Oh, yeah. And
now, them asking you to tell you that they are she, they, I think that's a little bit different because what we perceive to be real is real. And if you don't look like what you're asking me to call you, you
get a disconnect, right?
But yeah. Because that's not you're asking me to call. You're asking me to call a palm tree oregano. Like clearly, that's not oregano. So, if you want to change the again, it goes back to what I said in the beginning. If you want me to now call palm trees oregano, fine. Go to Webster's Dictionary and ask them to change the definition of oregano and then make it into a palm tree. A palm tree is now oregano. Then I will agree with you. Until then, and then that goes into the laws. We may not agree with the laws, but those laws are set forth by people that are much more powerful than we are. And if they say this must be this, then, my friends, this must be this. If not, that is anarchy. And then you saying, no, I don't want to do that, that's censorship. Because those are laws that are put in place. The same as a private company saying you can't say this on our platform.
That's censorship.
It's censorship, but these are laws. Who has the ultimate power? The people that are more powerful than you. That's the answer. So if YouTube says you can't say this, then the answer is you can't say this. It's quite literally that simple.
You have the choice of leaving, Of course. I mean,
Sure, you could go
you
to a
want to
different
say it?
platform, go to Rumble, and see how
Yeah.
successful that flop is.
You want to
Go
say
for it.
it? You can say it, but we'll take it down and we'll delete your account if you do it 5 times.
So again, you can either abide by the rules, or
Mm.
you can be rebellious and then see what happens.
Well, there's an in between, like kind of what we do sometimes. You can skate and kind of no,
Yeah, yeah.
because the way we formulate certain things, people who know that it's about a thing that you cannot say, but
I think we just have to abide by what people want to be called, as much as we may not agree with it. But then at the same time, if I tell you to call me God because I feel like one, then that's what you call me.
that's that's isn't that anarchy in itself?
Is what anarchy?
Like people forcing.
No, I
So
wouldn't
you
say
want
it's
to be called
anarchy.
God. The other one wants to be called Jesus. This one wants to be called the Holy Virgin, and this one wants to be a refrigerator. Isn't that kind of anarchy as well?
Anarchy is usually against rules, right? Against laws. I'm gonna have to look this up now. Yeah. A state of disorder due to absence or non-recognition of authority or other controlling systems. No. Mm-mm.
Mm,
No.
no,
You saying you don't like YouTube's policy would be anarchy because they're in a position of power.
and not agreeing with the rules.
General society, we are not. Is society powerful as a whole? Absolutely not. Mm-mm. To
Mm.
prove my point, minorities have more of a say than majorities do. That kind of proves the point that society is irrelevant.
Yeah, are they going to listen to 100 people or that top 1% or
Now,
that
listen to the top 1% because they're oppressed.
Yeah,
Just like we gave women equal rights. I'm not saying I'm against it, but the reason why we did it is because enough women were like, we want equal rights.
and we
Okay.
had to the, the thing in the sentence is we gave women equal rights.
We as not men, we as a society. I just want to be clear there. We as a society gave women rights, not as men.
Apparently, there were a lot of suffragettes that didn't want equality because then you had to go vote and then you had to go do the same things and
Oh, you mean
whatever and
responsible things.
Mhm.
So you just want the title, you don't want the responsibilities. Got it.
So again, that's a smaller minority out of those people that actually had a big voice and had made a big stink, and that's what we're getting now. Because most of them, if you read articles, most of the suffragette movement, they didn't want it. They didn't want voting rights. They didn't want all the same thing. They were happy being what they were.
Wendy's got some good points in the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Protected class.
Protected status. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, what you're talking about there, the protected status, is more on a society base than it is on a company base, right? Because a company, what a company is doing, and I'm not trying to justify it, but I'll try to put a little bit of reasoning behind it. What they're doing is they don't want to lose money. They don't want to lose their clientele. So how do you do that? You have to try to appease everybody. And who has, let's face it, you take a popular person on YouTube. Let's just pick a popular person. Who do you watch on YouTube, Maddie? Somebody really big, like over 1 million.
Over 1 million.
Oh yeah, that's a big
Oh,
one. But
I
yeah,
watched
over a
Jay
million.
Hayes. And
Not
I
over a
watched.
million.
Well, I don't know. Off the
Beards,
cuff.
Bikes and Beards. Let's pick that one. Bikes and
No.
Beards. Okay,
Okay.
that's a channel that talks about motorcycles and they got
Mm.
beards. So now I come on there and I say, I think beards make you look like the Taliban. And I create a whole movement of long beards are Talibans. And we go around to every single channel and we are vast in numbers. Now we're vast online, but in real life, we're not vast. I think we have to separate those two. Those are not one and the same. What you see all over the internet, I promise you, you could drive all the way through Florida and you wouldn't see one fucking transgender like you do on YouTube. So that being said, but the problem is that they are highlighted. People hated me when I started. You remember when I started every day, he's never going to make it. He's a piece of shit. He breaks it. Who fucking made me big?
Those people.
Those people. Every time you shared my video, my subs, my views went up. Now, if less people didn't give a shit about Island Boys, they would have never made it past their hot tub. That would have been the end of the line. But because people shared that ridiculous video, they are now who they are. Do you fault them for it? Nope. They're riding that shit till the wheels fall off.
Question is, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Absolutely you would. Absolutely.
Let's be honest.
Right. I mean, so you take that minority of somebody that's tatted all over, that is not generally accepted in society as an upstanding member of society, and now you make them an upstanding member of society because of the people that hate on them.
Influential. Yeah. And the funny part about that is, it's not because serious content, it's because most people were like, look at, wait, let me send this to Jay. Look at these two idiots.
Censorship. Listen to what you just said. You're promoting censorship by messaging me and saying, look at these two fucking idiots. You're saying that that's not acceptable to you. It's because of censorship is why people are the way that they are or who they are. I don't know if it's fair to define an individual based off of censorship, but nobody. I mean, actors obviously would be famous without censorship, but look at, some people never knew who Dave Chappelle was, right? We can't disagree with that. But once he started getting canceled, what does that do? Now everybody hears about him. And then when enough of people hear about it, they don't cancel you. Because, well...
any press is good press, right?
I stand by that. So if we sit down and we say, you know what? You want to be a tree? Great. You're a fucking tree. Next.
For me, it's the thing, I don't care if you want to be a tree. I don't care if you want to be called Zerk or whatever, or Beelzebub. I don't care. He, she, it, whatever you want. Just don't bother me with it.
But even if they do bother you with it, I think it's at a point where we just have to accept it. We just accept it. We can't fight it, right? If we keep fighting it, they're always going to come up with something else. It's like, you know, the argument is you won the battle, but, or I won the war. No, you didn't. You won the battle. The war's still ongoing or whatever. You've only won the battle. Okay, we might win the battle against transgenders, but you're not going to win against that whole gotta be different culture. So just fuck it. Embrace it. Yes, you are a palm tree.
Good job.
You look great. You look miscolored. Palm trees are supposed to be green or yellow or brown. You look tan, so you might need to go see a doctor. I don't know many doctors that see palm trees with legs, but you go do you. I think if we just accept it, they're going to stop coming up with shit. Think about it. Gays used to be unacceptable, and then we just accepted them. And now to come out is nothing special. It's just, I suck dick. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're another gay person.
Nothing special anymore. Now you gotta identify as a fucking crockpot. A crockpot, really?
But then the whole thing is being special. It's not being
I think it's being different. You want to be different than everybody else, and that's fair because we all
And
try to do
attention.
that. We all do that
Attention.
anyway. We all do that. We all do it. Whether it's get up, you put on a certain cologne, or you get up, you do your hair different that day. It's just, in all fairness, and this is going to sound like I'm moving left, but let's make it clear. I vote red majority of the time. I'll make that clear. Biden, I am pro 2024. If if you, I say we need to take a step back and let them be not. Let me be clear, not children. That no. The answer is no. No. Nope. The answer to that is
do whatever you want.
The answer to that is, oh, see, this could go both ways. The answer to that is it's up to the parents to decide. I'll stay away from that for right now. I'm just going to stay away. I think we need to just let everybody be unique and you be whoever you think you are today.
See, and again, because of bad decisions of some people, that's where you need the government to step in and make rules and say, no, your kids can't decide and you can decide.
But then that's censorship. If the government comes in and changes rules, that is censorship.
Yeah.
Unless we go off of the very basic rules that we were founded on. The whole Constitution or the Bill of Rights. You go just by those. Is it censorship? Not really, because that's what it was founded on. So that is what it is. When you start adding rules, even you saying that trans women cannot compete against other women, that's not censorship. Yeah. That is not censorship because women are designed to compete with women. That is basic rules.
Is it though?
Yes, because it's for women. It's a women-only sport. If you are a trans woman, you are not a woman.
Right. Who are you to say that a trans woman is not a woman?
The woman. That the trans woman is the one to say it. That's my point. If the woman says, I'm a trans woman, so you're not a woman.
Oh, yeah. The whole trans
okay, so you're not a woman then. No, I'm a trans woman. Okay, you cannot compete in this. I'm a woman. Show me your vagina.
And
show me your vagina and give me an MRI. Show me your vagina, give me an MRI, and then you can compete. Even if you're a dude, if you got a vagina, you're good to go. Good. Rock and roll. Because I know you're serious. You're not fucking around anymore.
You got a vagina, you need...
Right, if you go up there and you got a bulge like that dude that swam, first off, way bigger dick than me. You know how shitty that makes me feel when I look at somebody trying to be a woman, got a bigger dick than I do, and he's taking fucking estrogen? That makes me feel a certain type of way inside. I want to censor his cock. Can we just put a blur over it? Because that shit was like he was smuggling 3 pepperonis and a big fucking roll of bologna. Right? Like, God, dog, shit, you are juicy. Are you sure you're not a dude? Like, I am super jelly of what you got. But all jokes aside, if you are a trans woman, you are not a woman.
Nope, agree.
It's over. You can't compete in a woman's only sport. Done.
It's in the name itself. Like
that's it. It's right there. Yeah, that's not censorship. No. That is not you. That's not it. I'm not trying to cancel you. You could go do your own shit. You could go. I figure with enough of them, they can start their own Olympics.
That would be fair.
But that's not censorship because we're not saying something can't be because it's in the name, right? Girl Scouts. Should boys be able to join it? Why? Because it's in the name, right?
Girl Scouts.
No, but you can join, and I didn't know this, but you could join the Girl Scouts in the 80s as a boy. I didn't know this. Did you know this?
Nope.
Well, you could join the Boy Scouts And this has even been in movies in the 70s and 80s. You can even join the Boy Scouts as a girl.
But which boy in the 90s, in his right, with parents that didn't hate him, or in a
Sure,
right state of
sure,
mind,
sure.
would go into the
Agree,
girls?
agree. But one could argue and say a father that takes his daughter out for camping, it wouldn't be too bad for you to go learn some survival things in the Boy Scouts. If
Ah,
we're gonna make it okay for one, we have to make it okay for the other.
yeah.
So if we're saying that, and I would agree that a girl learning how to start a fire and survive out in the wilderness, what is the likelihood she's going to be a damsel in distress?
See,
Unless
but
she
I'm
looks like a
censoring.
genital wart, she's got this.
I'm probably censoring, but to me,
Yep, you're gonna
somehow,
censor. You're
I
gonna
know it's
censor
wrong. Somehow, a boy going into the Girl Scouts sounds worse than a girl going into the Boy Scouts.
because you're a man. That's why you feel
Yeah.
that way. Now, if the roles were reversed, you might think one's okay and the other's not. Like Bree is very feminine.
Mm.
She wouldn't go to Boy Scout. She would go to Girl Scout. So she would argue and say that it's awkward for her because we look as men, right?
Yeah.
And if a girl wants to learn how to do some tough shit, we're not opposed to that. I wouldn't say it's hot, but well, I can't even see how that would be attractive. It's gonna make you feel less of a man. You get stranded on an island with a woman, and she's like, "Listen, I need you to gather the fruit. I'm gonna go hunt." Isn't it supposed to go the other way? Do you know how to hunt, Jay? No, exactly. Go get those coconuts. I'll get the rabbits. Okay, that's gonna make you
Well,
feel less of a man, right?
but if we're eating rabbit at the end of the day, I mean, that's not
Sure,
that
yeah,
bad.
no, sure, but it's gonna make you feel like less of a man. Just like if a woman, her desire is to cook for a man, and that is what it is. If the man's like, "Hold on, sweetheart, let me go get my pastries and all my sugars and stuff, my
Oh.
little apron, and then make you a sandwich."
So,
Why?
but then would you say that a man, like a woman being the provider, or a man wanting to be a houseman, that it's also less of a man?
If Bree had the option, put myself in those shoes. If Bree had the option to make more money than me, this my ex is a great example of this in the adult industry, right? No, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Would I feel less of a man?
I mean, you can be a man's man and still do the dishes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd probably feel less of a man if I just stayed home and my wife worked. Yeah, I think because that's ingrained in me.
Hmm.
That's not censorship, though. I'm not saying that a man can't do that. I'm just, for me personally,
But then you're censoring, right?
but I'm only censoring myself. I'm not censoring the
Because
powers
you're,
that be.
no, but you're saying to that guy that wants to do that.
Right. Would I say something to that man? No, no. If he asked me my opinion, I would tell him whatever makes you happy. If and I would say it just like that, so you know I'm being sarcastic.
That's the skating around option you're
Right.
using.
I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm just gonna say it where you get the gist. That makes you happy doing the dishes like a bitch. That's good for you. Okay. Good for you. Good for you, faggot. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. If you want to do, sure. I don't think it makes you less of a man. To me, a man needs to, well, no matter what he's doing, needs to be the person that brings home the bread.
Mm.
I'm just saying that everybody's got censorship at some point or another. If you don't like something on the internet, censorship. Because those are the powers that be that say you could say this or you can't say that. And these are the rules. And if you don't
Right.
like those rules, you appeal to those companies and say, don't do this. Please, here's
So
a petition. Go old school.
like cancel culture is the ultimate censorship. Then
That's why I said they go hand in hand. Censorship and cancel culture. You're trying to tell people that they can't say something, so it's canceling them, number one. And it's censorship. And if they do say something, we're going to kick you. That is 1,000,000% cancel culture now. Now you're gone.
Oh, so if they tell you, it's back to the. But if somebody tells you, you have to call them something, or they are. It is censorship because they're stopping you from saying what you perceive them to be.
Whether or not you want to abide by their censorship. I'm not saying you have
But then if you don't,
I'm not,
if you don't, you're censoring them. So
Yes.
it's like,
either way.
wow. I've never looked at it that way.
Right. That's what I was
actually.
saying in the beginning. So now we just accept it. Just your tree. I'm not censoring myself. And I'm just agreeing. Of course, you have to do this subconsciously. You can't just say you're going to do it. You just, yes.
Wow, we have such a hard time with that.
I think the more that me and you talk, the more open you are. It's just like that big argument we had. What was that big one where the baby with the Botox? Oh God! And the more you think about it,
yeah, that's.
Everybody was
That's
quick to
me
shoot me
joking.
down, bro. Everybody was quick. Hold on a second. Right? Like, think before you answer the question. That was a good one, bro.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
To be fair, though, you had time to think about it. So if you're
Yes and no. I was initially like you with the no. By the end of the episode, I looked at the bigger picture. So it only took me 15 minutes to decide. Not even. Midway through the episode, I was like, I would do it.
Yeah, it's the difference between a knee-jerk reaction and taking the time and
the innocence of a child, right? And the innocence of a child. Oh, that is a good one, bro. But again, we're quick to take without thinking. We're quick to no. You don't even want to hear it. Nope. Wow. Even a judge will hear somebody that murdered a whole family. You don't want to hear my side. Nope. Okay.
You can hear the other side and still don't agree with it.
Sure, which is why people are convicted of murder, and that's why there's innocent people in jail. That's why there's innocent people on death row. Like that's why OJ got away with it. And OJ's dead, so it doesn't matter. We all know that he did it. But reality is that you're very quick with no one thinks about anything before they answer it. Everybody thinks that Trump's the best person for the presidency. Are we sure about that? Like, are you sure about that? Oh yeah.
If you look at the other options.
No, I get it. I get it. You don't give it any thought process. You just go by what you see on TV. Look at the laws. Read into it. If he didn't make it the first time, what makes you think he's going to make it the second time? This isn't, it's not like riding a bike. If at first you don't succeed, you get back on it and you ride it.
Again.
I don't think that's how presidency works, at least not in any Grover Cleveland. I guess not in any other. We're not talking about, learning how to eat with a spoon. This is a big one. So,
So Grover Cleveland is the only one that did a term.
Yes,
not a term.
Didn't make it, and then came back and then made it. Only one.
So once you're off, you're burned forever. Most of the 99% of the time.
I think it's Cleveland. Yep. Was the only president to leave the White House and return for a second term 4 years later. Yep. He's the only one. Damn, I'm good. So, yeah. I mean, if you think that you're going to make that history, well, you didn't make history because, well, someone already did it. So that is history. But people are quick. Oh, yeah, love Donald Trump. I versus Biden, I guess. These are your options. I think a paper cut between either of those, but we're not going to get into politics. We just know that presidents don't make decisions. That's all. It's all money, bro. How much you want to piss people off?
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck. Okay. Thank you, Tony. Oh, let me go through this. Alicia Allen. Oh, wow, Allen. Thank you, Allen. Thank you, Lance. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Cody. Okay, so China, right? China and jobs. China and jobs. How do we feel about it?
Oh, yeah.
China taking American jobs.
We don't feel it's not something you feel good about or you like.
Sure.
We have the same thing with
Moroccans.
Yeah, no. Moroccans tend to come here and don't want to work. It's more the side of Russia and those countries around it.
Okay.
They come here and they like builders, was that masonry, whatever. They come in and they undershoot everybody that does it here. So people want to do the job. Mm-hmm. They undershoot everybody in price, and then they do a shoddy and shitty job as well but it gets done, and people, I saved 5,000 euros, and I'll take that one. It's not supposed to be that way. To the feeling of fairness, I'm referring now. Like, it's not fair because this guy, and it isn't actually fair because they come in, they live 10 people to an apartment. They eat next to nothing. They drink next to nothing. They share everything, and all the money goes to the other country.
So,
is it logical to do so if you can, in that person's perspective? Yes.
Yes, I'll agree, and I will even one up you and say, you could do the same thing, right? You could live in a house with 10 people, eat as little food as they can, right? Mm-hmm. You could work for that low if you were splitting it between all these people. There's no difference between him and you. I mean, there's one key difference, is he's willing to sacrifice everything for a little bit of something. You, on the other hand, are privileged and entitled and think that you deserve more.
And you're used to a certain level of luxury, let's say.
Sure. See, but knowing and accepting that is what a lot of people don't want to do. So Indians would do the same thing. They'll come here, bro. We'll give them a 7-Eleven. They'll take all that money and bring it back home. Does that irritate? Did it used to irritate me? Yes. Does it now? No. You know why? Because white people or black people or Hispanic people, whatever, Americans as a whole want to do that job for $15 an hour. Okay. Well, we don't have that to pay you that. Yeah, but I'm entitled to that because that's what I'm in. Why are you entitled to that? Because I have a degree. Okay, you're working at 7-Eleven. Why are you entitled to that? Like, you work at 7-Eleven serving coffee. Okay, but so you're not.
Hey, I got a master's in flower arrangement.
Well, that's great. That's good because we don't have flowers here. So it's good for you. But the argument is that people don't want to do it. So China taking the jobs away from Americans with the steel mills, right? With David. Do I feel bad for David? Yes. But, and there's a huge but in there. That's capitalism. And that's something that America is huge on. Capitalism. While it may not be capitalism in this country, it is. Because, I mean, it's not here. We're just taking it from somewhere else to make us more money.
Yeah. And again, if you could do it
what we are.
To another country, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Then you'd be fine with it. Like, yeah, well, they just
Yeah,
have to
we
work
got the
from that.
best of them. Yep, we got the best of that. So now that the shoe is on your foot,
Yeah, yeah. But it's always gonna be what affects you the most and the
of
closest, right?
course. Yes, absolutely. Every time. Every time. Every time.
Because what do I really care that that builder
But I
is
think
here and
that's what's flawed about a human being. Is I think we're worried only about what affects us.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
like you, well, hold on. You're even part of that bracket, Matthew. You just said, okay, well, admitting it is good because you said, I don't want to call you a transgender. Why?
yeah,
It affects you. It doesn't
yeah.
affect, I mean, it might
I
affect
have
them, it
to do
might bother
something.
them, but that's
Yeah,
something you're fighting with inside.
yep, yeah. You're making me do something against my
Well,
will or whatever. So that's
but
why
we
I'm
can
not
agree
denying
that
you.
that's
I know.
wrong. But we can
Yeah,
agree that that's wrong because we're only making a decision based off of us. At the same time, at this world, we kind of have to care about us because nobody fucking else does.
else was.
Right? Like nobody gives a shit. They only care when you're worse off than what they are. If you're better than they are, which is a majority of the people, oh, that was cold, but it's true. It's
Hmm.
it's it's true.
That's
Um,
where it goes wrong as well, right? If everybody's opinion or feelings are more important than everyone else's, that's not how the world works. That's not never how. There's always got to be some consensus. Like, listen, 80% of people think it should be this way. Well, then that's gonna be this way. And it's
majority
not like,
rules.
yeah,
Majority rules. Yeah, I think
if
that's
you have
I
to
think
take into
that's the
account,
fairest way to do it. I mean, that is the
yeah,
fairest way to do it. Is either way someone's getting hurt, right? No matter what, whether you have to call them a transgender or not, somebody in there is getting hurt.
yeah,
Uh,
okay.
you just kind of have to go with the majority says. You have to, as much as you may not like it.
And
And if the
that's
majority of the internet
listen,
says that you have to call them he, she, guess what?
yeah. But that's the problem is that is flipped around because it's not the majority; it's a minority.
No, no. It is a majority online. It's a minority in real life.
And real, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Bro, I'm telling you, I could take out the slingshot, bring my phone with me, go to every fucking strip mall, every mall in Florida. I bet you I won't find three
None.
transgenders.
So it's a
Bro, I could
concentration
go
on
look
the
for them. And nope. Mm-mm.
mm.
I go
Well, it is
online for
kind of
3 seconds, I find me a transgender. Shit, I don't even need a
it
second. I just type in transgender. Done.
kind of makes sense because people who don't care about it, they're not gonna go online about it either. You're not gonna comment. That's goes back to the same thing what you said. A hater on your page, that means he cares about it. If he didn't care, he wouldn't comment. If you don't care about people misgendering you, you're not gonna go onto social media or the internet and complain about it.
You see, now take that comment from Wendy over there on YouTube. Just read it. So this is a great example. Someone that doesn't like what's being said, right? Because it goes against what they believe, they close out. Now, one could use the argument and say, if you don't like what is being said, then leave, right? Don't no need to comment. However, their opinion is about as equal as mine, so we should hear it. But I think that's the problem with society is we don't want to hear both sides.
You want to
Someone
hear
has
your
always,
side.
yeah, you want someone to side with you and they don't. I think the most difficult thing to do, Matthew, is what we're doing, playing centerist. Looking at the bad, looking at the good, saying that we're part of the bad and we're part of the good. What can
Yeah.
we do to be more centered, to be unbiased? The argument is because that's what we all want, right? Well, I don't know. Some people just want to be far left or far right. But I think that if you look at scales, right? Libra, the sign of balance, you want
Mm-hmm.
those to be even, right? When you
Even.
weigh those. So I think we all need to open up and figure out what we're doing wrong to become better people because we know that the people out there aren't doing it. Why don't we just be above them, be unique, and be better than them?
It is, but it can be hard though, right? If you
Of
have a
course.
tendency of everything being more left and going more to the left side, you
Yep.
have people tending to go more to the right side to counter to balance out to counter it out. You're going to get people that are going to lean more right
But
because
that's
of
the
there
problem
are
with the
people.
internet, right? But that's the problem with the internet is it is focused more on the left woke side,
Yeah.
right? It is.
So
It
you're going to
very
get
much
more
is.
people that are extremely the other way because they get bothered by it and they go onto the internet and they go against that wokeness.
Sure. But now you're so overpowered or underpowered. We're just gonna get rid of you.
Yeah,
Just move him to the side, and it gives your voice lower. Now you become the minority, right? Now, and then that's why you have these protests. That's why you have people with your picket signs. Oh man,
what can you do against that? Not go on the internet at all.
that's
Not
that.
go
As
on
sad
social
as that
media
is, that is the answer. As
and
much as
just
it
let
is
the
bring us
system.
joy and happiness, it is a downfall of humankind.
That is a good question. Does it bring us joy and happiness? The
Of course
majority?
it does. And without internet, we wouldn't have each other, Maddie. We wouldn't have.
True.
I would not. You would not
That's
be
the
in my
positive
life,
side. Yeah,
right? But
that's a
you have to
positive side.
weigh that. You have to weigh the good versus the bad. What's the balance? You deal with the horse shit in between.
But do you think people on social media these days are more um, does it make them feel good? Are they happy being on social media, or are they on social media because they're miserable?
Even if the argument is the latter, that they're miserable, so they're on social media, and it makes them happy to do it, why not? Why not?
Mm.
Right? I'm not saying we have to
If
see. The problem is you go to argue these arguments with someone that is transgender, he, she. It's my way is the only way. That's it. My way is the only way. Okay, so censorship. Okay, got it. That's the end of that conversation. Now you win, not them, because you're just saying you
Mm.
agree with censorship. Uh, I think censorship does have to exist to the government. Like I believe that the government could say you can and cannot do this, and that's the end of the
Yeah,
there's nothing else that goes in between that line. If they say that vaping is illegal, then vaping is illegal. That is, I'm not saying you can't break the law, sure, but suffer the consequences. Be responsible for your actions. But whoever makes the rules, that's the deciding factor of censorship. That person. So in this
yeah,
case,
and
social media would be the deciding factor of what censorship is.
some censorship is really needed to keep society going. Let's say, because if you wouldn't, you'd get anarchy. Everybody can do whatever, say whatever, and then
Absolutely.
there's no filter anymore.
Absolutely. That's why
That
rules
might
need to
sound
exist.
fun. Might sound fun on paper, but I think in reality, that's not going to be fun for very long.
And the thing is too with the government is that even in Belgium, I know that there's things that you don't agree with. There's laws and there's rules. But if you want to be an upstanding citizen, you
Yeah. Do we all bend the law? If certain, I don't think there's anybody alive that hasn't bent the law a little bit or in their entire life or did something you're not supposed
yeah,
to.
I think that'd be ridiculous to say that everybody their whole life is
You
done
never
everything.
jaywalk. You never. No. Okay. Then.
So I'm going to argue Jorn's comment and Lance. What about just keeping to yourself and ignoring most people and just don't participate in the things we dislike? Then you cannot be part of the internet. Because you are susceptible to that because you put yourself in that environment. If you don't, if you want to keep to yourself, then literally go live off the grid in the middle of the fucking woods, hunt and gather fruit all by yourself and don't associate with anybody. That's like saying that that guy shouldn't be able to tell you what to do even though he's been through it. Why not? You're putting yourself in that scenario. So you have to be part of it, whether you want to or not. Unless, of course, you just shut off the internet. Yeah, see?
And
I just argued that point. But then that shuts you off. That means your censorship.
and then you said ignoring most people. What people? Some you're gonna ignore, some you're not.
So you want the freedom of choice, which, by the way, is not in the Constitution. That is not in there. It's very specifically not in there. That's God, by the way. That's free will. That has nothing to do with rules. That's just you wanting to be. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think if you want to be on the internet today, it's not that simple. I don't think it's that simple just to shut it off. I mean, if you don't agree with what you're watching, oh, here comes Jorn. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
It's
Jesus.
gonna you anyway.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Go ahead, fuckstick.
No. I wasn't arguing, but I think most rational human beings, and I count both of you as rational human beings, on the internet as a whole, you do have the freedom to kind of absorb what you dislike or like. And if you dislike something, you can choose to just ignore it and go on with your life. Now, your daily life is something else. The real life with people you encounter, that's a little.
Why not try to embrace that instead of ignoring it? Okay, we'll agree that you can just shut off a video or not make a comment that's hurtful.
Yes.
What about embracing that thing you don't like and try to understand it instead of just shutting it off?
Yeah, but it seems to be that most people, I can still watch it and not feel the need to comment something bad. I'll think about it, but
Sure.
not. The trend seems to be nowadays, I do not agree with you, I'm gonna leave a nasty comment instead of
Okay, but we're not
absorbing the
talking
thing
about
that
comments, though. We're just talking about in our heads. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh no,
What you
I
gonna
watch
say?
it completely, but I don't get upset. I just, okay, that's a different point of view. I do not agree. Think about it, still don't agree, and then I'll just go on with my life.
But you just said it. You just said it. You don't agree with it. You don't like it. Yeah, or
But I
whatever.
listened.
That's
I
feel. That's
listened. I
feeling.
didn't shut it
So
off.
the
I didn't shut
internet.
it off.
No, but the internet or social media is still having an influence on you.
Sure.
How so?
You
'Cause
just said it. I don't
don't
agree
like
with
it.
it. How? Hmm.
No,
I
the
don't like
point
it.
of view, but there's been things I don't agree with you guys. I don't shut you off. It's just, okay, that's not something that I align with. That's not my point of view on things. Okay, and I carry on.
But if it wasn't for the internet, you wouldn't know of that person's opinion, correct?
Unless they were close to me. Yes, I agree. Yeah, because now you have complete strangers just voicing their opinion and
Okay, so
forcing
you
it
go
almost.
around. So what you're telling me is you go around. I just want to make sure we're clear because you're sending mixed messages. So
Yeah.
you do or you don't watch things you don't like because in your comment
No.
you said that you choose to not watch it. You
Well-
ignore and just don't participate in things we dislike.
Let's say something pops up either on Facebook or a YouTube short, and it just
Sure.
lines up. I will watch that short, go, I don't agree, and then I watch another one. I
Sure.
don't feel the need to comment or.
No, we're not talking about the comment.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the comment. It's irrelevant. The
Okay.
comment is not an argument. The argument is whether or not inside of your head you're willing to look at it from their shoes
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? Let me do some more research on that. He might be right there.
The
I have to watch the content to be able to not agree with it.
Yeah. The problem is with being, and Jay can attest to this, and Matthew as well. If you have a certain interest, the internet or social media as a whole has a way to close you inside of a bubble, in the sense that they align certain interests, and then eventually you will only see the things that you agree with. Like if you research, I don't know, you watch 1 or 2 Charlie Kirk videos, that's gonna be the things they recommend next. If you do religion, it's the same thing. You start getting caught
But
in
that
an
Charlie
endless
Kirk
loop.
dude is not always right.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying once you show your interest on certain websites, they kind of lock you in this box, and now you get on, like you said before, more left-leaning ideas. It's harder to find once the algorithm determines, this is the stuff you like.
Yeah, but that's not the argument. We're not, okay, all
Hmm?
right, I think we're talking about two different things. We're not talking about the algorithm of social media. We're not talking about dislikes. We're not talking about, we're merely talking about watching something that we don't agree with, okay? And then at the end of the video, we're giving it second thoughts.
Well, that's why I said it. It's becoming harder and harder to even the internet. If you're
So
on
you,
YouTube,
so you're saying
to
you don't
pushing it.
search for anything, you just go off of recommendations.
Yeah, and if you would have watched the
it comes
video,
down to-
I'm going to counter this. If you watch the content that you don't agree with, it's going to be in that list of
It'll
things
be
that
recommended
you
again.
want.
Sure.
So you're going to get recommended it again.
It's because people don't watch,
Mhm.
and that's why they get so far right and so far left, is because they don't try to counter what is being recommended. You're a fucking drone. I mean, you are literally a robot. You're watching the same shit over and over and over and over and over. So of course you're going to believe that. Now, if you go out of your way and search for that argument against that, that will make you more balanced, because now you're reading or seeing something that is totally opposite of what you just watched. That's on you then. You'll never be balanced. You're just going to lean one way. For instance, you didn't believe in God.
Yep.
Huh?
That's
When
true.
you started watching God videos, you get recommended God, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has changed your perception on God, right?
I want to say.
Oh,
a
now you're
little
going to
bit, but
argue
most-
it. Oh, this is cute.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, this is
no,
fucking
no.
cute, bro.
No,
Okay,
I
go
was
ahead,
gonna
Jordan.
give you more. I was gonna give you more props, honestly.
Okay, but either way,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
planted the seed, you continue to watch the seed
Yes,
grow, and then you
100%.
search. So you're proving my point. So you
Yeah.
can search for something that you really don't agree with, and then you're like, oh,
Mhm.
ha,
It does.
this is everything against what I've believed in.
Well, it was occasionally dropping into the list, and it's because we talked, and then that kind of opened it up, and I started actually watching, not looking for them. I started watching them to the end because, well, let's see what this is, and otherwise I would have clicked it away, like you said.
Mind you, we're not saying you have to disagree with the opposite. It's like, but if you watch it and you're not automatically dismissing it, you watch
Right?
it,
Unbiased.
and then at the end of the video you go like, yeah, they just confirmed what my feelings about it or what I think about it. I've seen the opposite. I've seen the other side of it,
And I
and I
still side with
don't
this. Yep.
still don't
Mm.
Yep.
agree.
Agree. Agree.
That's still an option.
I think that's so fair, because that's what it's all about. Is it's fair. You're giving both sides the argument. You know, you speak for 2 minutes, you speak for 2 minutes. Convince me.
I
And
think
then you
most
also
people
know
just
it's
want to
your.
hear other people repeating what they already believe.
But then you also know it's your choice. It's your feelings. It's your way of thinking that makes you decide to be against something or disagree with something.
Who decides whether what you feel is right or wrong?
You.
You. 100% you.
Well, at the basic level, society can do the same thing.
Yeah.
I got something for you guys. I should have saved this. I didn't know. I didn't save it. Your sister's ass. I think it's a short too. That's going to be hard to find. Bree, I didn't save that that Charlie Kirk one with the student loan debt, did I? I don't see it in our chat. Kind of sucks too, because it's a really good video. Yeah, I didn't save it. That sucks.
What do you mean, echo chamber, Stan?
I think he's saying it's an echo chamber because you just keep hearing the same shit over and over and over, so you start to believe it.
Yeah.
You know, like you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're ugly, you're ugly, ugly, ugly. Eventually, you're just gonna believe it. That's why I felt so good yesterday when he said to me, "You look really good out there." You know, it's because the echo chamber is one way, and then when you hear something the exact opposite, it just confirms, I guess, who you are. So, being unbiased, well, biased aside, but yeah. So I think I just think ultimately that even you, John, you don't think that, I don't know when you tuned in, you feel that you support censorship?
Yeah.
Oh, you do. You support it.
Yeah.
So from all
think,
angles.
of course.
Do you participate in censorship?
No.
You don't?
No. I've never said someone to shut up and or remove someone's
If
opinion.
a transgender asks you to call them a they or a them, do you do it?
I would do it.
You would do it?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Okay. I don't have anything then.
If they politely ask it, why wouldn't I?
Because they don't look like a they them.
Yeah, they don't.
For some reason, I kind of believe that for you because I know how passive you are. So for some reason, I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I truly believe in the fact that if I make a mistake, there shouldn't be a law that says I'm now going into jail. If you don't tell me what to say to you, and I see you, and my perception is you're a dude, I'm gonna say, hey, man, or he or she. My eyes will be my perception. I do not believe that it should be a law
so you
that if
do
you make the
participate
mistake,
in censorship then?
no, because
Yes.
the censorship is the law. That's the
Right.
censorship.
Right, but the law
I'm not-
says that you can't do that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's censorship. The law is. I'm not allowed to make an honest
So
mistake.
you're saying you
without
don't
it
agree
being-
with So you're saying you don't agree with censorship then, because if the law is censorship and it says that you can't do this, that is censorship.
You're censoring the law that says you can.
Right. So you do
it's
partake in
my
censorship
software.
then.
Okay, but then I believe in laws. That law is now preventing me to make an honest mistake. There was no ill
Doesn't
intent,
matter.
and now it is. There's a
It
big
doesn't
difference.
matter, but that's the law. If you don't like the law, then you go to your representatives and tell them to change the fucking law.
Yeah, I do not agree with that. No.
So, okay, so then you don't agree with censorship because that is censorship.
Yeah, then in that case, I do not.
That's what we were talking about in the beginning. That's
I jumped
that
in late.
is. Yeah, no, that's fine. That is the definition, and I think that's where we come across as it's difficult because if the law is the deciding factor, which we'll all agree is, because well, that's law. If you don't agree with that, that in itself of you not agreeing with the law is censorship. But you don't have the power to censor the government. The government has the power to censor you.
Censor you.
So they're the ones that's right. We're the ones that's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, with censorship, right or wrong doesn't matter, right?
No, it doesn't. It's just this is this is that.
I just, from my own personal point of view, it's just I could see myself making a mistake in the shop, addressing someone the wrong way. It wasn't ill intent, it wasn't vicious, and now I'm faced with either a lawsuit or a fine or actual jail time because I made an honest mistake. Nope, I do not believe in that. Not at all.
But then your argument is to counter that law. What do? You hire a lawyer to prove your case that this is not a good law. So you are in a small type of way, you're trying to set a precedence to say that the law is wrong because, well, it's I made a mistake. And then your argument is to go to court and then to prove that. Now, whether or not that is a fair system is we could go on forever whether or not the justice system is fair. It's swayed one way or another, whether it's money, politics, color of skin,
personal belief.
Personal gain. I think the judge inside of that courtroom needs to be the most balanced, unbiased individual coming into it knowing this side of the story and wanting to hear the other side of the story. Okay, this side of the story is you killed them. Now, tell me why this is wrong. So when you go to court, automatically, you're guilty, right? Because all they have in front of them is what they perceive to be factual. You have to try to prove that otherwise. Good luck.
So it's not true that the saying you're innocent until proven guilty?
No.
No, if I was innocent
here
until
it
proven
isn't.
guilty, you wouldn't put the fucking handcuffs on me and send me to jail.
Oh, here it isn't. The law works the other way around here. You're guilty until you can prove you're innocent.
It's kind of the way it is here too.
Yeah.
So people just like to
I
say
think
it.
the misconception there is that they're not going to sentence you to death until they can prove it, right? I think that's what it stems from. It's definitely got nothing to do with them putting handcuffs on you. They'll put handcuffs on you if you get a little rowdy with a cop. So Jorn is pro-censorship or anti-censorship. Good for you. Good for you.
Your guys are more leaning to censorship as a whole. Yeah,
I am.
okay.
Yeah, because try living your life without censorship and really think about it. Because in the beginning it was like, yeah, okay, but if you go down the rabbit hole of what Jay said, there's a lot of censorship, and it sometimes goes both ways. It's sometimes ways you don't even think about as being censorship, but actually you can put it under that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to recite everything from the beginning. I know you tuned in a little late, but if someone the transgender argument, but you said that you would go with that. So that he said he wouldn't because you know how Matthew is. He just does not want to call somebody that. But then in turn, there's censorship. You know that in turn is, and you're saying that you're anti-censorship, but then you say you're pro-censorship. So which one are you? I think you have to. Yes, that is the one, Bree. You are the shit. So we all like Charlie Kirk here, right?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
Okay. Well, this is a good one, and I'm gonna. It's a long. This is the long one. It's not the short. And let me say, this is good. I have so many holes in this. Hold on. Oh God, this is long. It's not the short version. Damn it. Okay, well, it's still good enough, Bree. I like it. Oh, this is fucking good, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know this one?
Oh yeah. Let's watch that.
This is gonna be great then. This is gonna be great. So you know this one.
I think I've seen the short of it. Yep.
Okay, so who do you side with, Charlie Kirk or the kid?
What was it? Watch it again. Watch it again because I want to do
tell
my...
me if you have audio. 5, 4,
Yes.
3, 2.
With you
All right,
about
You
Yes.
got it?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Yep.
college is a scam.
Okay.
Just because there's 50% of people who you say don't need college to get a job, why would it be a scam? There's a social impact about college, on America. College is, good.
The majority of kids that go to college when they graduate have a lower view of America than when they entered. Do you think that's a troubling thing?
I think just changing your opinion doesn't really matter too much.
Do you think that college teaches responsibility and hard work and...
Sure.
Okay, well, I find that hard to believe. Why is it that employers are more and more not wanting to hire college graduates and they actually want to hire people that didn't go to college?
What employers?
You can name them out, man. Walmart just got rid of their, even in their corporate level, so you don't need to go to college. Koch Industries, one of the largest employers in the country, from Georgia Pacific Railroad to Dow Chemical. They said we no longer want kids that have gone to college because they end up causing problems because they're super entitled and they're like, oh, what are my pronouns? And they have all this like left-wing nonsense that they've been filled with.
Well, then you have engineers, doctors, lawyers, people that
Sure, we need that, but that's less than 20% of the people that go to college.
Yeah, but
college is
it'd
an
be wrong to say
institution.
college is a scam if 25% of people become great people. Lawyers, doctors, engineers.
That's
able
not
to
what
really
college
help the
currently
world.
is, though. Again, I'm happy to have you read the book. College is a scam. I wrote it. I can have a more wordy thing, which is the vast majority of people that go to college are receiving a scam for the money.
Let me say something here. I like him as a person, but you're not going to tell me that he doesn't come off as arrogant. Just watching this, right? You can read my book, right? Like okay. Right now, you sound like Andy to me. I understand you have a line of people lined up ready to talk, but why does he sound so cool and calm and you're getting angry? I'm just no. Do you guys see that or no? Is it just me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
He's coming off as arrogant and prickish right now, but let's just let it go.
Money that they're borrowing. The vast majority.
That's
Of course,
just
there's exceptions. You can make whatever you want with your life. I mean, you could. But I mean, when you enter into an enterprise,
Yeah,
you
but
need to know
most
that
people
you are
that go into
currently-
college
let
make
me
more
prove
money
this to
at
you.
the end.
How many of you guys have to take
Say you should have let the kid talk, but okay.
classes that are a waste of time that you wish you wouldn't have to take? Every single hand. You're being scammed against your will to take classes that make you go further into debt. Why can't you say I don't want to take this class? Why as a customer you
Can
can't
you
say
do a differential equation?
You what?
Can you do a differential
This is
equation?
good.
Can I do
Can
a
you explain to me the anatomy of a human?
like somewhat
You
off the
know
top of my
what
head?
psychology is.
Yes, I do know what psychology.
Okay,
I've read
can you
Freud and I've
explain
read
it
Jung.
to me?
Do you want me to explain psychology?
Well, you can't explain
Is-
it
is-
to the depths of a bachelor's degree or a PhD.
Well, hold
or
on a
master's.
second. Time out. I've sat here with no notes.
Do you want me to play what that kid said back one more time? I'll just play that back one more time.
Bachelor's degree or a PhD.
Well, hold on. And I've
explain
read
it
Jung.
to me.
Do you want me to explain psychology?
Well, you can't explain
Is-
it
is-
to the depths of a bachelor's degree or a PhD.
Well, hold
or
on a second.
master's.
Time out. I've sat here with no notes, no phone, and debated people with
Yeah, because
PhDs,
you study
masters.
this because it's your job.
Hold on. I didn't go to college, man. That's the point. Is you can do whatever you want without a college degree. You can listen to podcasts, read books. You
think
don't
about
need
if
to go.
Gauss wasn't able to go to the University of Göttingen. That's literally the reason.
I can't hear what you
Gauss-
said. What'd you say?
You know Gauss, right? Mathematician.
Yes, vaguely, sure. Okay.
Vaguely.
Yes, vaguely, yeah.
Oh,
Do you know who
okay.
Milton Friedman is? Do you know who Herbert Marcuse is? You know who Thomas Sowell is?
Do you use a phone?
Do you know who Gouverneur Morris is?
Well, that's 'cause of Gauss.
No, you don't. So I could do gotcha too.
Like
so before
Euler
you try to
went
get
going
off
to
your ivory
university
tower
is the
and understand
reason
that not everybody.
he was able to become so.
Who's getting more angrier here?
He is.
You tell me who's getting more angrier, bro. Like, okay. Not a balanced conversation. I'm just putting it out
Nope.
there. They're both getting heated, but someone's getting a little... I'll just let this go.
So proficient in mathematics
So here's
and
the
change
thing.
the world.
The majority of kids that go to
Most
college
people
are
that get
more
a
depressed than when they
PhD
enter.
degree are able
Secondly,
to perform much better in their field than someone who doesn't.
Well, then, if that's the question, if that really is true, if
Well,
college is this amazing accelerant, then why do so
I
many
wouldn't say
people...
it is accelerant, but if you're looking at a
let me
field of
finish.
science,
Let
right?
me finish, man.
And you want to
Have you taken a
accelerate that field of
communication
science,
course, or have you not done that yet?
You need a degree.
All right. Let me make my point. If that's the case, why do half of these kids end up with anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 in debt, and they end up getting a job that says, "Oh, sorry, you never needed the degree in the first place"? Why is that the case? Tell me.
People on average, once going to college, make more money.
Hold on, that's not true. They end up getting a job.
That is.
No, that's only if they graduate and it depends on the field of study. Do you know the average college graduate now is getting a job at $61,000 a year. The average plumber after 18 months, $68,000 a year.
Well,
the
sure,
average
but the
welder,
plumber isn't able to
$72,000 a
study
year.
with peers.
The plumber didn't go to college. The plumber went to trade or technical school. There's 11 million job openings that do not require a college degree in this country.
Well, who
11
engineered
million.
the stuff plumbers use?
I'm sorry, what?
Who engineered the stuff plumbers use?
I'm sure someone here. I mean, that it's like
someone with a
It's like
degree
saying who
from
designed
college.
the airplane for the pilot to fly. I mean,
Someone with a degree that went to college. Pilots go to college?
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying you get rid of all places of higher learning. The way it's currently comprised for you guys, the amount of debt you have to go into, the
Well,
classes
you
that you
say
have to
don't
take.
get rid of places of higher learning, but then you go on to
you're
say
interrupting me
college
every
is a
15
scam.
seconds. You're not debating in good faith because it is a scam. So let me ask you a question. Can you point to other things of American life the last 100 years that have been scams? For example, when they run an advertisement, they say, buy these pills because, we're going to make you super muscular. And they don't have all the fine print that it might not work and you have to have a monthly subscription. We shut down that business for being
That's a little
scam.
different, though. That's a
How is it
product.
different? Hold on a second. When you show up to college, did they tell you you have to take all these classes that you didn't sign up for? Did they? It said that you're going to have to take all these different classes. Did they tell you that half of you guys would not ever use your degree when you go into your career? How many guys knew that? You guys knew that when you signed up?
Well, college
knew
is
that.
what you
Well, then
make of
you
it,
guys
right?
You guys are willingly participating in the scam. Good for you. The point is this, is that most kids know deep down they're getting ripped off. The number one thing I hear from people across the country in corporate America, boy, college is a waste of time. Boy, I wish I never would have gone. Now I have $60,000 in debt, $70,000 in debt. I wanted to start a business, but now I don't have the credit to do it. Instead, we are wasting our most prized possession, our 18 to 22-year-olds, to go stick them at many universities when they shouldn't be here in the first place. And it is a failed project. It is making us poorer. And by the way, just look at the actual numbers over a period of time. Has it worked? Is homeownership now going up for...
He just got done telling him that you don't know the product of a debate, right? It's 15 seconds. Dude, you've been speaking for 60 fucking seconds. So practice what you preach, okay? But that's fine. I'm sure you guys have stuff you want to say. Let's just finish this up.
For young college graduates?
He does make one really good point, Charlie Kirk.
How are we going to blame that on college, though?
There's
a lot of different reasons that people are not able to buy homes.
It's the most equally applicable thing across the board for a
I wouldn't
generation.
say so.
And if you look at the average, how much debt do you have to go to school, by the way?
None.
None. Okay, wow. Are you on scholarship or?
Yeah,
Okay, so who's paying for your college then?
probably the federal government.
Okay, so I'm paying for your college, is what you're saying. My taxes are paying for your college. So wait, you're on grant or what?
I'm not going to discuss my college finances with
Well, no,
you.
this is really important. This is why you're so defensive of college.
Yeah?
This is why you're so forceful. Because you don't have to walk around the rest of your life with a $100,000 student
I know
loan debt.
plenty of people that
because-
have part-time
hold on a second.
jobs and go to college.
This explains you perfectly. I, the taxpayer, when I write my check to the IRS, I'm subsidizing your ability to go to college.
Okay. When
And I
I
think that's a
write
huge
my
mistake,
check to the
'cause-
IRS, I
'cause-
also give money for people to go to college.
You should have skin in the game. You should, and you don't right now. You are doing a freeloading thing. Of course you should be defensive of
I
college.
pay taxes. I pay federal taxes.
Yeah,
I pay state taxes.
I'm sure I
state-
pay a
let's
little
say
bit more
income
than you,
taxes,
but that's a separate issue. But the point is this: is
That's
that
probably true.
do you think you pay anywhere close to the tuition value you get at the school? Probably not.
Yeah, probably I do. It's like $5,000 a semester. It's a lot of money, but you get a lot out of
Wait,
that.
hold on. How much is it to go to school here?
It's around $5,000
So in state.
in state. Yeah.
Okay, did that include room and board and tuition?
No.
Okay, how much does that cost?
Room, board, tuition, all of it's around 11,000.
11,000 a semester. So you pay $22,000 a year in taxes?
No.
Okay, got it. So you're in a tax deficit, which means the U.S. taxpayer is subsidizing your education. That's fine. I'm not faulting you for it, but this is why you're so defensive. Is you're detached from the price. You're detached from the cost. It's easy to be defensive of something you're not paying for.
I'd like to.
Yeah. We can't argue that.
Yeah, that end point is very, very valid. Very, very valid. However, that kid brought up a lot of points. So if you didn't have, first off, I don't think college is a scam. Do you guys?
I think there's a lot of kids in school and there that shouldn't be in there.
That's not the question. The question is whether or not college is a scam.
Yeah,
See, I don't think it's a scam. I think it's a business. I think you're paying money for a piece of paper that says that you are qualified for this. That's it.
Yeah, in that sense, they never.
It's not a
actually
scam
produce
because I would love to get up there and say it's not a scam, because if it was a scam, we all know that scams, nothing is successful, right? It's a scam. It's bullshit. Nothing works. Well, to say it's a scam, it has to be 100% accurate as a scam. You can't say something is 60% scam. It's either it is or it isn't.
A scam, you wouldn't get anything out of it.
Right, you'd have nothing out of it. There's clearly people that are doctors because of the degree. So it's not a scam. It's more like a rip-off business. You might get away with that, but not a scam. A scam, to me, says nothing works. So it's all bullshit. It's not all bullshit.
So, but then you could say if you go into college and you drop out or you don't get a degree in the end, then it is a scam.
So if you go to college,
you could fail. You could fail. You could just be stupid. Now get your degree. That's not.
See, now the point of that video is you have to be able to listen to both of those and weigh both points. Very valid points. He didn't ask for that scholarship. He was granted it. So as much as he may be there, freeloading, I didn't ask for this. They just thought I was smart enough to give it to me. Now you have to raise the question to the people that gave him the scholarship. Why did you give him the scholarship? You understand? You can't just go to the actual product. You have to go to what started that product. It's people that decided that. And let's be honest, most millionaires have not completed college. We can agree with that, right? Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Donald Trump.
True.
It is what it is. But for an average, highly successful job, doctor, plastic surgeon, anything we have to work on a body, kind of need a degree. Experience isn't going to work, because how do you get the experience without the degree? You're not going to go around putting fake tits into people that you have no idea what you're doing. You're going to need something that says, you got to be able to do this. That's a good argument. So, but then you would say that only college would exist for doctors, for, people, psychology.
The way it used to be.
That's why I just kind of lean to scam, because I honestly believe that there is now certain areas they give you a degree for that shouldn't exist.
Like media,
like liberal arts.
liberal arts, media,
It's a
whatever.
bullshit degree. A monkey could get a liberal arts degree.
Yeah.
It is your most basic form of a degree. Yeah, it's a 4-year degree. And you read one book in all those 4 years. So that's good. That's...
And oddly enough, it's mostly females that get those degrees, because the number of boys going to college and finishing and getting a degree is plummeting.
Yeah.
Going down.
But unless you're really smart and you become a doctor and one of those high paying jobs, I would argue what is the average college time? Like, how many years do you have to go on to college on average, depending whatever you
Two
do
average would be 3 years, but 2 to 4.
3 years. Yeah, but
Yeah, 2 to
let's say
4. I've
you're now
completed my bachelor's in 2.5 years, so you
yeah,
can do it.
yeah, but you're not the norm.
Right. I'm just saying you can do it, but 3 years is average.
Yeah, 3 years. Let's say I'm now a skilled worker. In the time that I could be working and doing a skilled labor job, I could have made way more money. And you're now starting off paying off your debt. If it's in a field where you need people, yes, I would strongly recommend to find the right people to put in college and make them study. The smart, the best
Watch it.
ones. But if
No. Go ahead. Go.
if you are one of the people, it doesn't make you less smart. You have a different skill set. I would recommend for a society as a whole to put the best people in the best places.
Off the top of your head, without Googling, and people in chat can participate in this, think of one innovator. Just one. What do you got? One person. Just name it. One person innovates. Go.
Wozniak, Jobs, Gates.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Okay. Matthew, one person, that innovator, inventor. Go. Top of the line.
Tesla.
Nikola Tesla. Okay. You guys both all pick people with the exception that did not go to college. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so those stick out to you. Why?
Yeah.
Why do they stick out to you? For the success or the fact that they didn't go to college? This is going to be difficult to answer subconsciously, right? You're going to have to answer this somehow, figure out the answer.
Success, and because I knew he didn't go to college.
Okay, so you proved the point. And same thing for you, success and didn't go to college. So you knew where I was going with the question. Okay, so the question is you take people that innovate. Let's use that kid's argument with the tools for the plumbing. I would argue and say that probably a plumber invented that because he's hands in, and I don't know. I would just assume that the guy that's working on the pipe is going to say, I could do this so much easier than what I'm doing. Now, that doesn't make him super intelligent, just working smarter, not harder. But one could use the argument and say, well, if I go to college and I could be a doctor, it's going to be easier for my job than it is for me to be a plumber or a welder and be out in the field. So now you're working smarter, not harder, and you're making more money.
Yes, but it happens a lot where somebody with a big degree or a wall of degrees, and he says, "Oh, let's take the tool. I'm gonna develop a tool. Oh, and now everybody has to use the tool. You have to do it this way." Wherein, in theory, something looks great and should work great, but in practice, it really doesn't. And then the invention of the plumber is going to be better because he has the experience.
Sure.
And the tool he's going to make is going to work.
Sure. And you could even use the argument and say, look, for a majority of people that go to college, I still would not say it's a scam. Again, scam, I believe, has to be 100%. It's not real. Like the Nigerian prince giving you $3 million in an email. That's a scam. There's no success rate in that. Give me a credit card number because you owe money for Norton antivirus. I own a MacBook, so I've never downloaded Norton. Those are scams. I think the thing that Charlie Kirk is looking at is the success rate of people that have degrees that use them. I have almost the master's, and I have never, maybe a little in the military, used any of that degree. So I would agree that it's a ripoff. You don't need it to be successful. However, for an average person, they're not unique enough to be successful without that piece of paper.
That's fair.
If you're mediocre, mediocre.
But if you want to...
Not in a bad way, but mediocre people. The one that...
Just an average dude. Dude, you should probably go to college because you have nothing. Like, you're not a gymnast. You're not, And I think when you look at people that are raised a certain type of way, like gymnasts or around a CEO of a company, their kids are gonna pick up everything their dad is teaching them, so they're gonna have that knowledge. They don't need the college.
That's if you listen to most of those entrepreneurs, that's what they all say. Going to school, going to college doesn't teach you how to be an entrepreneur. It teaches you
It gives you the
you to be
tools.
client and somebody that follows
I've
and
heard
a
that before.
worker and
I've heard
whatever.
that.
It doesn't give you the mindset of what do I have to do to be that guy that earns the millions of dollars.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've also heard that it just gives you the tools to do it. It doesn't teach you how to do it. Is it just
Oh,
coincidence that knowledge and college rhyme? Is that coincidence?
is it? Probably not.
How long has college existed? Anybody?
College and
In the
specifically
sense
in
where it is today, modern college.
huh,
Can't be
17,
that long.
1800?
I have no idea. I Romans, did they go to college? I don't know. Was there? I
Yeah,
have
next
no
up,
idea. How long is God? I don't know that answer.
two buildings over next to the Colosseum, there was a small one.
11th century, 1150.
Oh,
Bologna? Bologna?
Bologna.
Bologna? Is it Bologna or Bologna?
Bologna.
Bolg. But my Oscar Mayer has a first name. How do you spell Bologna?
Bologna? I wouldn't know. Bologna.
Bol. Bol. That's so it's Bologna. She just sang the song. So it started in Bologna. The first true university in the West was founded at Bologna late. Doesn't sound right.
yeah.
It was
If
founded
you,
at Bologna late in the 11th century. That can't be right.
and is
No,
that
no, no.
not a coincidence that the first college
Right? It's
started
Bologna,
in the
and then they say, "Bro, that's Bologna. Get out of here with that Bologna." It's Italy, so
Yeah.
it's Bologna. I was gonna call it a vegetable meat. No, that is
Interesting.
spelled the same way.
The scam
It's just
started in
not-
Italy.
It's just pronounced differently. That's all.
Oh, so it's not okay. So all right, but hold on. Is that a coincidence too? Was that you're like, bro, that's baloney? Have you ever heard that saying? Like, where something
Oh, yeah.
baloney is bullshit. So
Yeah.
That's
baloney, college, knowledge. Oh, I don't know. That's a lot of coincidences for one little thing.
Get some knowledge at the college.
That's baloney.
That's baloney.
that's
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think at today's day and age to be successful, I don't think you need college. I think you only need college if you need to work on a body some type of way, mentally or physically. Other than that, even engineers, I don't think need to go to college. I engineer
you
shit.
can. You can do apprenticeship for those jobs.
Sure, internships as well.
Then you're gonna get more of the this kid. He's a natural talent. He has natural talent. Let's put him in apprenticeship, and and the kid that doesn't follow, he's not gonna stay in the apprenticeship. Apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you're gonna have more of a filter, I think. Like if you're gonna work with a plumber and you've got two left hands, that plumber isn't gonna be like, yeah, let me take you on for another 2 years, try and teach you how to unbolt a nut. I mean, if you're a very handy person, that plumber's gonna be, yeah, I want this kid because I showed him this once or twice, and now he's doing it, and he does it well.
How many
So you're
kids would
gonna-
you have to go through though? At least with college, there's a filtration process.
Mhm. And now keep in mind that raw diamond that you found, you're now gonna perfect it. How long do you think you're gonna keep that kid, because now he realizes, ooh, I actually have skill, and you improved him. He's gonna go either on work for his own,
Bro.
or a bigger, better company is gonna steal him away
Bro,
for a
check
higher
this.
pay.
Not at that level, but check this. I would hire people that fresh out of school, right? 18 years old. Teach them how to build coils, proper coils. Teach them how to do sales. Then they would go right down the street and go work for $2 more. So everything I taught you, I just threw in my.
Stepping
Now,
stone.
granted, this isn't well, selling to people is a trade, but not a trade in a sense where it's hard labor. So yeah, they would take that knowledge, and then some even open up their own vape stores. And good for you, But you gonna give me a little bit of credit or nothing? Just okay.
But there is a solution to that, right? Yeah, you have a contract that states you've got to work for me for the next 10 years.
Or just keep
They
your
don't
shit to
do that
yourself.
anymore.
Or
Yeah.
just go back to college.
Or you can never be a plumber again. If you dump me, done.
I don't think you can legally do that.
Yes, you can.
You could force someone to work. Oh, yeah, they do it in the military. So, yeah, you could write a
Mhm.
contract that you
You
have
can.
to stay with some. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
You do it for doctors.
True. You can do a close contract that they have to do that for 3 years. 100% agree with that. But you can't go put that in writing, and if you don't, you can never practice that.
No, not
skill set ever
practice it. You're
again.
just going to get penalized out your ass.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
money. And, well, yeah, military does that. You have to do this. It's like officers. There's no requirement for an officer to keep staying in, which is why they promote them in the military, because they give them more money. Other than that, I could take this medical degree that I got over at West Point and Harvard that you paid for and then go start my own practice.
Incentive.
And then, well,
But I think that with what you said, it's a filtration process. I think
Sure.
where it goes
Absolutely.
wrong is the filtration process should be more before college, and then you only get the ones that are really worth it in there, and not filter it out in college. Oh, this one's not, this one is, this one isn't. That would it's probably impossible to do, but
you wouldn't be able to do that.
solve a lot of-
It's too many
a
kids,
lot of-
bro. It's too many kids.
Yeah.
Not like in a small country, maybe. A country like
And even
America
we
or
don't do
India,
it.
or so you know what's crazy is you could be a doctor in India, and you could in theory complete that and start doing surgery within 3 to 4 years. And then you come to America, and then that transfers over. That should not be a thing. That is unacceptable. You should be able to have to do everything a regular doctor in America does. But you see a lot of Indian doctors and Asian doctors. Now, granted, they finish school quicker than we do because they're smarter, and that's not Americans are going to like that.
Work
They have
hard.
more reason for education than we do. I'll say that.
Okay.
Their pool is much more vast than ours is, so they have to shine before everybody else. Here, you just started TikTok. I think you guys will like this. So, how do you feel about TikTok being banned? Censorship, right?
Yeah, it's censorship.
Sure.
But at the same time, you're banning a cesspool. So,
Wait for it.
is it negative or positive?
Wait for the punchline. So TikTok's all upset, right? Oh no, this isn't fair. We're fine. It's okay. Watch this. What did China ban?
Everything. Google, TikTok,
Instagram, Facebook,
Instagram.
Google.
Yeah, they have their own versions of it even.
How's it fucking feel? So you could ban ours in your country, but we can't ban yours in our country? That's a double standard, kind sir.
Mm.
Checkmate or check?
Yeah.
Check. Yeah. Okay. So you banned all that shit. We'll ban yours. That's all.
But we can all agree that this is a temporary fix, right?
So wait, you guys can literally not go on TikTok anymore?
No. You can. They have 6 months to figure it the fuck out, but they're getting nowhere.
Huh.
And then Apple and Android or Google, whoever owns the Play Store, Google is going to have to pull it, and they'll pull it because the government says you have to do this. This is all. If anything, it would be in their best well, I don't know about Apple, but it would be in Google's best interest, right?
Yes.
Sure, we will bring more business to YouTube. We don't have a problem shutting down TikTok off the store. In theory, Google could do that now. Just say, you know what? You're not an American company, so we're just going to pull it. Who's going to tell them no? China? Yeah, okay. Same country that clones people's cars and clones people's ideas. But it's a business, so...
The only thing they could do is maybe make it more difficult to produce their phones. That's it.
Are they made in China? Google Pixels?
I think so.
Korea, no?
Is it Korea? It could be
Korea.
Korea.
I don't know. I know the chips are Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Like Samsung is Korean too, right?
Yes.
Huh? So
I think the only Chinese phones is the Huawei, right?
Huawei is Chinese.
Oh,
probably a whole plethora of names you don't recognize anything. So
what do you got?
it's still made in China, but they already signed to move all over to India.
That's what we were talking about this morning in Discord. Is that India is
creeping up there?
That's a force to not fuck with. So iPhones are made in China too.
Then again, the States has a production site for
Apple could
right?
in theory, Apple could in theory make all their they would need to hire a lot of people.
But
you get a lot of tax breaks too. Move it all over to America. A lot of tax breaks right there.
The States are investing in their own places to make computer chips as well, right?
Yeah, Taiwan, they started a thing in Oregon or something, or Oklahoma, a whole manufacturing plant for chips. That's not a bad thing to cut out China. That's great. Hey, good for you. That's good.
So if push comes to shove, might be a little more expensive than China, but you can make them.
People are gonna complain because now it's more expensive. If they don't complain about the iPhone price now, which by the way is the same fucking price as a Samsung. If anything, a Samsung is more expensive. Right? What's the Samsung S2536?
Oh, that one? Oh, that's an expensive one.
What's the Ultra?
The Ultra is 1400.
That top of the line, nothing higher.
Yep. Oh no, the top of the line it goes. That's the top of the line base model when we're talking 265 gigabytes.
I'm talking maxed out Samsung S25 Ultra.
Used to be 1 tera, but they're all gone. So S5
1,800.
And how much is the top of the line iPhone?
2.
So iPhone's still more expensive.
Yeah, but that's preference thing. If you hold it, there's a certain difference in quality.
Right, a quality measure. I get it. I'm just saying, for price point wise, the iPhone is still more.
Yeah.
Not by much, but it is. Okay. And does Samsung
and
have
extras,
like a pro model, like the Max version? Do they have a Max version?
That's the Ultra. That's the Ultra.
Oh, the Ultra is the Max. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then you get benefits, right? You like over now you basically get a free smartwatch, the top of the line smartwatch to go with that Ultra if you buy a new Ultra.
And you said the Samsung camera is better than the Apple Pro?
The S24 Ultra, camera
S25.
is better. The S25 doesn't exist yet.
No, the S24 is the latest one.
Yeah.
And it's better than the 15 or the 14?
15 Pro Max. Yeah, the camera is better.
Wow.
Well, that's always been an up and down, right? Because next model
Yeah.
of iPhone, the camera is probably gonna be better than the Samsung. Then
So
they're
one
gonna
could argue and say
investigate.
that Samsung is ahead of Apple. What we're talking about just cameras here. We're not talking about
Yeah.
development of
Yeah.
chips or anything.
Yeah,
I just want to be clear here. We're talking about the cameras. It's like you're fucking crazy.
Mhm.
Well, wow.
Because if Apple ever finds a way to put an M
You think that
series
Apple
in
would
that
get with
phone,
Sony then, and the people that's been making fucking lenses since like year 3, and say, hey, why don't you help us with the sensor? And yeah,
but it is with the previous model. It was the way the other way around.
yeah, it kind of jumps. Every single generation it jumps. Then it's the iPhone that wins. Then it's the Samsung that wins again. It's like they're competing.
and who makes the chips inside of Samsung? Snapdragon.
You have both, right? You have the.
Yeah.
Oh no! Now they only do the Snapdragons. They don't do the what's the Exynos or something. They don't do the other one anymore, right?
I think it's
It's only
Snapdragon.
one. Yeah, it's only Snapdragon. Yeah.
And that's not made by Samsung. That's made by Taiwan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fun shit.
Yeah, it could be good. If
What
you
could be good?
regain
Samsung?
something independence back if you remove the almost 100% reliance on China. It's always a bad thing. That's
But if it's
something
not
I
one thing
really-
we rely on China for so much in America. So I got a real carbon fiber shift knob, right? Real carbon fiber from China. And it's real. It's not pre-pregged. It's real carbon fiber for $30. The same one made in America the same way is $198.
Yeah, that's a
Why
big.
would you
bit
go?
of-
Why? As much as I support made in America, if I'm getting the same product, why would I pay $100 more?
That's true. True. You're paying for the labor. That's way more expensive in the States.
That's key. What you just said, right? If I'm
Mhm.
getting the same product at the same quality.
Hmm. And that's only something time could tell, right? If you use them both for an X amount of years,
They're
are
both the
they
same,
still in
though.
this?
Like one's made in
Yeah.
Oregon, the one's made in Shenzhen, and I have both of them, and they are identical.
Yeah, if you say they're
Like,
identical, they're identical.
I mean, they are one has got brass threading, the other one's got aluminum threading, and the aluminum threading is actually worse than the brass, and the brass is made in America. But other than that, you could take the threading out and make it brass, but they're the same fucking thing, bro. Same material, stamp made in USA. It's got a little patent thing on it, and it's the same thing. You would, if I put those side by side, bro, and you didn't pick it up and look on the inside, you wouldn't know. That's the same company. No, it's not. One might be stolen from the other, but it's the same fucking thing.
Hmm.
It's like the Jenna Bridge, how they made them for $4. Can you tell me what you did? Because I would love to make a product for $1. If
Yeah.
what kind of metal did you use? What is that? Like what? It's recycled rims. Okay, let's do it. Let's get it. $1.
It
Jesus
might
Christ.
might just dissolve in the e-liquid after a certain amount of time.
It'll
but,
work
I mean,
for X amount of time. Look, if you use it 100 times and it costs $100, you could have still bought just one bridge. I don't know. I'm just saying, same quality. You'd be foolish to pay the extra $100 just to say it was made in America.
The only other argument, and that doesn't even apply to the product you bought, would be, well, if something goes wrong with it, I have something more local to rely on customer service.
Sure.
But that doesn't even apply to your product. It doesn't.
Yeah, there's nothing that can go wrong. It's threaded. Like that's.
Yeah.
No, just there's no moving parts. It's not an electronic. You know, it's
No.
No, but that's the only reason people will pay a little bit more, because they know eventually if something goes wrong with it, I can rely on certain customer service.
sure.
And
But that's it. That's it. That's the only thing.
when it really goes crazy is when the knockoff version is better than the original version, which happens as well.
And
Look at
it's
vaping.
cheaper. And it's
Look
cheaper.
at vaping. In the beginning, there were certain tanks or drippers you couldn't get.
Yeah, the
And
clones
there
were
knockoff
better.
versions that were better quality than the original
the
one.
clone scrapes. That's what me and Chris got into it from StatQualm. The clone scrapes were better than the authentics, and they were the same price. So, I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing. Do you guys sell Chinese cars in Belgium?
Daewoo isn't Chinese.
Ginseng Motors?
I don't think so.
No, you don't see
I
one?
think they tried to do it at one point, and the car was really cheap, like 7,000 euros, where a car from here was at least double the comparable car. But they stopped it, and they taxed the hell out of it, so it would be more expensive or just as expensive as the cars we had here, just to stop them.
We got two brands incoming this summer, this year.
Ah.
Omoda and Jayco. Those are the two brands that are getting introduced on our market the end of this summer. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. Sum it up. 2 hours deep. Holy shit, that was a long one. Well, that went much longer than I had anticipated. Hopefully you guys had fun. Thank you, Jordan, for joining us last minute.
Thank you.
No more censorship. Just
Yay.
accept that.
No more censorship.